Okay. A very good day to everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the NTEEP virtual training. I'm going to be your anchor for the day, Jessica Kings, and it's very good to have all of you here with us. Before we go on to the topic of today, we just want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, our mentors, and our speakers. We have for the sponsors, Ashley's Collections, Ubuntu Soft, and Nomfro Technologies. A big thank you, and a big thank you to all the team behind the success of this training. The training will be for 40 minutes, and then we'll have a 20 minutes time for questions. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box by your right. You just see it over there. So you write your name, your business name, your country, and then your questions. We are all encouraged to please subscribe to the YouTube channel to enable us to receive notifications whenever we are going live so that you don't miss out on the training. For today's training, we'll be having the topic Introduction to Digital Marketing, and this will be handled by Mr. AJ Smart. Mr. Adams John Smart is an ICT consultant. He's an entrepreneur, advocate, and a humanitarian. He offers over 8 years of progressive ICT business experience and a history of going above and beyond dreams into reality. As the founder of one of Africa's fastest growing IT startups, Mr. Adams leads a team of IT experts that helps businesses develop sophisticated technological solutions to automate business operations for efficiency. Mr. Adams will be taking us on the topic once again, Introduction to Digital Marketing. And we welcome on stage Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Jessica. That was, it's good to be here. Good morning, everyone. So without wasting too much of your time, I would start the session. I hope you're ready. It's good to always have a pen and a paper, or at least a note, whether digital. Of course, if you ask me, I'll recommend having a digital note. Otherwise, you can get a pen and a paper. The old school is always, good to go sometimes. So let's begin to talk about how you can take advantage of the digital platforms and why you need it. So today is Introduction to Digital Marketing. And today we'll be learning, first we would start with what exactly is digital marketing, and then we'll go through why not just go ahead with your old traditional way of marketing, and then we'll compare the two to take us further as to why we think, or why actually it is very important to go for digital marketing. So we'll compare the two, and then how to do it. We are going to do that for today. So then, what is digital marketing exactly? And please understand, you would have access to this presentation. So I will try as much as I can to be practical and not just reading what is here, because I want you to be able to connect with me on a personal level. So it's important. I would just be picking a few points here and then explain to you in details what this is and how to do it without reading everything that is here. So let's start. What exactly is digital marketing? Digital marketing, also called online marketing. This simply refers to all the techniques, all the effort that a business, an individual put in, all right, to leverage on digital channels. So first keyword is the effort. Okay, it's important to understand that all the effort, just like all the effort on traditional way of marketing, in this case, all the effort, all the techniques a business or an individual put in to leverage on digital channels in order to promote your business digitally. So, in a nutshell, this refers to all the marketing effort that occurs on the internet or on digital channels. Business leverage digital channels such as search engine, social media. Most of you use social media, and we actually use search engine like Google, for example. Um, we also have email, although most people consider this to be old school, but honestly, email is still very one of the most effective way of retargeting, and I'm going to be explaining that in a moment. And of course, website, it's also a great way to take advantage. It's also a great channel for digital marketing. So digital marketing is simply the use of numerous or different digital tactics, as I said, effort, and channels to connect with your customers. That is what digital marketing is all about. It's simply using digital channels to promote your business or yourself online, because these days most people, beyond just business, people also promote themselves. You have influencers all over using digital channels. So then, now that we understand that digital marketing is simply using digital platform to promote or leveraging on digital channels to promote our product, our services, then the next question would be, why do we need it? Why not just go with, buy a new shoe and every day go out in the morning and go to offices and knock, kong, 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 Oga, good morning. My name is AJ and I am from Nomfro Insurance, and after 1 month and I have to buy a new shoe. I'm sure you must have seen some of those, my brothers, like that. So why not? So why digital marketing? So let's dive in. Take, for example, when you post an ad online, people can see it no matter where they are. So basically, one of the advantage of digital marketing is that you reach a wider audience. Nomfro Technologies is a Nigerian-based uh, company. However, we sell to customers across the globe: Europe, East Africa, South Africa, and the West African region. And recently, we are selling in North America. So basically, if we were using traditional way of marketing, we would have only have access to customers in Nigeria and maybe only customers in Abuja. But with digital marketing, it provides us access to a wider market, a wider audience, people who on a normal day we cannot reach. Okay, so that is one reason you should use digital marketing. Take for example, you sell clothes, or maybe you are a farmer, and on a normal day, taking foodstuff from your place to the market, you would have to deal with middlemen. If you are a farmer, for example, because these are people who will buy and now take it to the major market. But you can actually sell to the end user if you take advantage of, if you leverage on digital marketing channels. Because if I post, someone asked me this interesting question, that is it possible to sell yam online? Because they thought that was not possible. And I told them, yes, actually you can sell anything, because this online is actually used by human beings. And so post your yam, somebody is going to see it. Just make sure you have a very clean camera and make sure it shows what the yam. Turn it around and video everything and post it. You will be surprised. You will see someone from a different city will buy, and on a normal day they cannot reach your location. So before you ask that question, what can you sell? You can sell anything. So the first advantage is it allows you to reach a wider audience. Number two is cost efficient. It's very affordable. And I will tell you why. You see, digital marketing is inbound while traditional way of marketing is outbound. We are going to be discussing this in details when we read, excuse me, where to compare the two. So why this is cost efficient and is actually affordable is one of the reason is, you see, if you are going to do traditional marketing, let's take for example on a TV advert, for example, you would pay way more than you're supposed to pay on social media or on a website or Google search, right? So that is one reason this is cheaper. And then number two, you see, sometimes what you pay is usually not the cost. It's also the what is involved and what comes out of it. This can all be timed as cost in business. So take a look at this. You are going to place an advert on TV, and this advert will be shown to everybody. Or worse, you employ marketers, like I've given the first example, and these marketers will walk into everybody's office and knock and introduce themselves. And some of you must have met people who you will introduce yourself and they'll be like, uh-huh, and so, okay, yeah, if we need you, we'll call you. But you see, that is way expensive because at the end of the day, you must have spent too much transportation on your staffs or on yourselves. You must have spent too much energy. Of course, the quality of your life is gradually reduced the more you hammer it. Of course, we are like machines. So the more you overuse your life, the more you reduce the quality. I'm very sure one of our speakers on this platform will be discussing that on one of our sessions. So you'll get to understand how to balance your personal life with business. So that is another reason. Number three, you see, the money you're going to also spend on buying. I've talked about, it's very funny, but it's very important. If I would have to travel every day, then I would have to spend more money on washing soap, on apart from transportation, on new clothes. But the truth with digital marketing is I can actually, as I'm sitting down here, you have no idea what I'm wearing apart from this top you're seeing. And worse, digital marketing, you actually don't even have to show yourself in most cases. So that costs you less to do digital marketing than traditional way of marketing. You would have to deal with transportation more. You would have to deal with security, battling and fighting security guards when entering the offices. You would have to deal with, if it's an advert you're doing, you would have to deal with showing your advert to everybody who might not be interested in what you're selling. But in the case of digital marketing, it's very easy because you only target people who are interested in what you sell or what you offer. A good example would be Numfro Host, for example. If you have never searched for hosting, web development, I'm sorry, you would probably never come across our profile or our advert or our post, because what we share or what we post, what we promote is to target people who um, are interested in the kind of product and services we sell. So if you are a farmer, for example, or you sell clothes, then you want to, when we reach SEO, you are going to see how you use keyword to target people. So even if it's social media, I've seen people who do social media and they're asking, but I run my ads and nothing works. The reason is simple, right? If you don't know how to target the right audience, then that can be a problem. And I will be discussing this in details in the next couple of slides. So the second reason is cheaper. And I just gave you a whole lot of examples what makes it affordable compared to traditional way of marketing. A good example, you don't have to spend much on transportation from the comfort of your home. You just need internet. You don't have to buy a car. Of course, there are places you go, the security guard will not allow you if you don't have a branded vehicle. So these are all part of reasons this is cost effective. And the next is quantifiable. And a good way to know whether your marketing strategy works, you have to find out how many customers it attracts and how much revenue. Now, with traditional way of marketing, it's very difficult to do that. And I'll give you this example. Mr. A subscribed for a social media and SEO Google ad, and Mr. B or Mrs. B subscribed for a TV ad. Now, at the end of the day, the TV ad will be shown to everybody and usually limited to location, only where they covered. And so at the end of the day, even if Mr. C, who is a customer to Mr. A, who plays on, or Mr. B, Mrs. B, who plays on a traditional way of marketing on a TV, the thing is, even if the customer who did not hear or connect to your business through your ad, you probably will assume if your sale goes up during the time you were doing a TV ad, you automatically assume that it's because of the TV ad. But in reality, it might not even be from that source. Okay. But in the case of digital marketing, you would be able to monitor exactly the location of your traffic. You can actually monitor who closed sales and who did not. You can acquire lead and you can retargeting, of course. So it's easy for you to take advantage of the analytics within your dashboard and monitor location, even age, and the keyword that people use to click on so that you improved on your next ad. And even if it's normal engagement, people are engaging with your post, engaging, commenting, and beyond just buying, it's also easy for you to be able to monitor, and so it becomes quantifiable. It's very easy to know how much sale you make from a particular ad, or how many people really engage with a post. And then it's easier to personalize, right? Once something is quantifiable, then you would be able, since this is inbound marketing, then you can personalize to target the right audience for yourself. Now, digital marketing allows you to gather customers' data. This personalized usually result from, from what you have gathered from the analytics, from how people are engaging with your content, and then it becomes easy. For example, let's say I posted a video yesterday, and the video was about our hosting, and then people did not engage with it that much. And I posted another one talking about our web development services, and I realized people engage with it that much. And at the end of the day, we actually made more sales. I'm most likely to focus on creating more content that relate to web development. Here is why most digital marketers get it wrong. Here's the place. So you don't just post for yourself. Remember that you are posting for your audience. Okay. So when you make a post and you realize that that did not do well, your analytics helps you to monitor who engage with, how are they engaging with the content, and also it's important to put in your strategy, the main purpose of why you make the post. Is it just for people to engage, or you want people to buy? That is very important. There are times that you may not bother if the post we made had less engagement but more sales. All right. And our main strategy was to make sales. Then I would have to go back to making a post that makes sales, because why do I have to make a post that I have 200 engagement with no sales? So usually it's about why. Why are you making the post? Why are you running the ad? Is it for brand awareness? Is it for making sales? Or is this for establishing reputation? You know, and that is where you would begin to personalize this to meet up the right audience. So Okay. All right. Next, more connections with customers, right? Digital marketing allows you to connect with your customer. You see, we have continued to evolve. Um, it started with the digital or tech age, and actually now it's called the social media age. And the reason it's called the social media age is because more than ever, that connection, that bond we used to enjoy before technology becomes much available actually disappeared at some point when people have to spend too much time doing a lot of talks on with strangers and all that. And over time, we get used to it. And so people want to connect with you on a personal level. So it's important when you engage, whether it's customer care or whatever, or just making a post, it's important to personalize so you can relate, okay, with your audience on a personal level. On a personal level does not mean you begin to discuss about your personal lives and all that. No. If a customer say hi, instead of, there are people that I've seen that made some silly, terrible mistakes when it comes to WhatsApp automated message, for example. You see, you can't make your customer completely feel, using both doesn't mean you should make your customer feel they are dealing with a robot. Okay? Some people, it actually turns them off. It used to work, but this media, social media age, it doesn't anymore. People want to feel connected with you. They want to feel they are talking to someone who understands what they are going through or what they really want. Because people come to you because they are going through something and they need a solution. Whatever you are selling or whatever post you make, they must have some sort of relationship with it. So it's important to keep that in mind. So another reason now, in a nutshell, is that it gives us the opportunity to connect more. Now, digital marketing lets you communicate. It lets you communicate with your customers in real time, unlike traditional way of marketing. Or maybe if you place a TV advert, or maybe I've gone for media interview that at the end of the day I can't even tell you who really watched and who did not watch. I have no way of contacting them and get feedback for them to tell me, AJ, you did great, or AJ, you can improve on this. No way. But you see, with social media or digital marketing in general, you would have access to feedback. And that is a great thing about connection. Feedback is very important. It allows you to connect. One advantage of connection is when you are connected, okay, it increases engagement because people will always come back, and it also increases your chances of making sales because someone watched my advert once or my TV show once and they are gone. They may never have a chance to sit on the television, but using the mobile, now that we are mobile, if I make a post about something and someone is able to relate with it, chances are that, especially if they subscribe, the next time I make a post, they are going to get it. And their comments and their likes, people will always see it as long as that post remains. So interactivity benefit your customers as well. Their level of engagement increase as they become active participant in your brand story. These days, people always want to check how people are engaging with what you sell. And I think it's still relate with the way I've seen most countries in Africa. Actually, people vote people because, and it's not only Africa, by the way. I think in most cases, people vote people that are popular. And actually, this same psychology applies to your business. If people cannot find any engagement with your business by other people online, there are chances they will think of you as a scam in advance, whether you are genuine or not. And so it's important. This is one of the advantage. It allows you more connection, connect with your customers on a personal level. Easy and convenient conversion. With the TV, honestly, like I've said, you have no idea who and how to even follow up. But with this, digital marketing lets your customer take action immediately because it's inbound. And inbound simply means these are people who are already interested in what you sell. And so chances are that they are going to buy immediately. If I go on social media and an advert pop up about clothes, in most cases because I've already searched for clothes. If I'm searching for, let's say, yam in Abuja, for example, then the next yam article or ad that will come out, in most cases, will be because the person has already performed that kind of SEO, which we'll be talking about it in the course of. But the main point here is convenient. So the idea is that if I go on social media or on search engine, before certain ad will be shown to me, I have already used search for the kind of product that company sells. And so it's very easy for me to click buy unless I don't have the money. And even if I don't have, tomorrow when I come back, they will still show me anyway because I looked for it. So that is how convenient and easy it is. So digital marketing lets customers easily take action compared to traditional way of marketing. You run a TV ad and the person was not ready to buy yesterday or they didn't have money to buy. Chances are that they won't even remember you because tomorrow somebody will be running the same ads on TV. And so they will go for that person. You have actually prepared them to buy from someone. So that is also another reason it's easy and convenient. Now let's dive in and begin to look at the main point. Now, traditional versus digital marketing. So let's look at this. Meaning, yeah, traditional marketing refers to the marketing that uses traditional channels or media for the purpose of marketing and communication. And digital marketing implies or refers to the marketing of products and services via digital channels, as I said earlier, such as the internet, smartphones, display ads, and other digital mediums. Now, let's look at the nature. See, traditional marketing is static. The word static simply means it's not dynamic. It's opposite, just like this digital marketing is dynamic. So it can easily be adjusted to fit in your strategy, and so is dynamic. But traditional marketing is one way. You can't turn it around. You can't manipulate it to fit into your strategy. And so this the nature of traditional way of marketing is static, and the nature of digital marketing is dynamic. Now, let's look at conversion. The conversion of traditional marketing is slow. Worst, you even have no way to look at how you are converting. So it's very slow, and the conversion of digital marketing is very fast, at least comparatively fast, because as we mentioned earlier, you can easily, customers can easily place order, and so that makes it very, very fast. Now, engagement on traditional marketing is very low because people will have to probably find your number and find a way to contact you, right? To connect with you. Maybe they will have to take your number on the TV ad and then connect with you. Some people who are not even fast enough, if you run an advert for like 10 seconds, for example, it's very expensive. And with 10 seconds on the mainstream media, you would know how much that will cost you, or 30 seconds. And some people are not fast enough to copy your number before the ad is gone. So you are sure that the engagement is going to be very low. And then for digital marketing, engagement is very, we've already talked about this. When you make a post, as long as it gets people attention, you're very sure. If you personalize it enough and target the right audience, you are sure to get people to engage with it, and the engagement will definitely is always high. Return on investment cannot be measured on traditional way of marketing, and I've said this before. You run an ad, and then at the end of the day, your sales skyrocket. Maybe your ad is during Christmas, and maybe demand for red oil during Christmas is usually high because or clothes or food, rice. Yes, it's because people need that. These are things that people need for Christmas. Okay, or maybe you have an ad for flowers or any gifts items during Valentine's this month, right? And then all of a sudden your sales skyrocket. It doesn't mean that your ad is doing the job. It could just mean that there is demand, and so you would have to meet up with that demand, and so your supplies increase. That is just it. So since you cannot measure, all right, then it's very difficult to measure your return on investment. And then for digital marketing, you can measure return on investment. At Nomfro Technologies, we run ads beginning from December till from now till the end of the year. Most of you must have probably come across our ads on Facebook and Instagram. We run ads and we plan to run this ad throughout the year, non-stop. Now, every single ads that we are running, we are able to know the numbers of clicks. We are able to know the numbers of sales we made from that particular ad because each lead that is acquired, we monitor that lead carefully until we close and we allocate each sale to a particular ad. So it's very easy to actually measure your sales, your return on investment at the end of the day. You make an investment on ad. Definitely, you want to at the end of the day know how many people and how much you were able to generate within what period of time. Because time is also money. It's part of your return on investment calculation measurement. So that you can easily with digital marketing, you can actually measure return on investment. Whereas on traditional way of marketing, it's impossible. The next thing is effectiveness and whether it's expensive or cheap. So traditional way of marketing is less effective and more expensive. I've already talked about that because I even used some funny examples when I told you that you would have to buy shoes for your insurance marketing, and then when you go to the office, and then God help you if you are a brother, and then you have this lady looking at you and like you are trying to tell her that, oh sister, my name is AJ and I'm from this Nomfro insurance company. You know, at Nomfro we can, if you take this plan, you are going to get compensation at the end of the day with something of maybe like 50 million, and then she's looking at you and like, oh boy, and your shoe is there like this. I'm sorry, for non-Nigerians, it simply means, and your shoes is like this, okay? So then that makes it expensive. You would have to keep up with that sales. You would have to ensure, maybe for a start, you need like probably 5 pairs of nice shoes. And if you are like me who likes shoes, you probably know how much that is going to cost you, okay, for a start. And then if you don't want to do that, then probably you want to buy a car. So you know how much that will cost you. But with digital way of marketing, sit at the comfort of your home. Just use the same smartphone that you are already using to do nothing, to comment on people's posts. Use it to start up your digital marketing. Your post, create your page for free. Create most of the startups on social media and most of the platform you can start for free. So that is less expensive. And then secondly, since it's measurable and it's inbound, you only show your content to people who are interested. And at the end of the day, is less expensive. I've already said that before. Usually people who see what you're selling are people who you want them to see. For those who may not be interested, you have no business with them on as far as digital marketing is concerned. But that is for those who understand how to use it. And then tracking. Tracking on traditional marketing, I've said this before, is not possible. You can't track it. And for digital marketing is possible. We've already talked about that. Using analytics, you can track properly. And then targeting, we've already said that for traditional way of marketing is standard because if you already know the kind of TV channel you want to use, or newspaper or media station. If it's a fashion newspaper, then you know that you are targeting just that kind of audience. So targeting is standard, but for digital marketing, you can customize and personalize only to those who you can even target age group, you can target location, you can target gender as well on digital marketing. If you sell something for men or women, you don't have to let the other gender to see it. That's how interesting. And if you're selling something for age people, for example, let's say you're selling something that specifically target people that has certain stream of incomes, then you're probably looking at, let's say that I'm selling real estate, for example. Showing real estate ads or targeting audience that is in school, student, which will probably be a terrible idea because most of friends and girlfriends don't want to do that. But if you're dealing with like Valentine stuff, so you're selling things that you know people will need to take gifts. I'm sorry, I like giving that funny examples to get you connect to this. So then you probably target that age because you know this kind of emotional attachment is still very new and interesting to them. So they would be prompt to buy what you're selling compared to certain people who are now more concerned with how to take care of children and how to build houses for the next generation. So that is very important. Target is customizable. You can actually customize digital marketing. Then tweaking is not possible with traditional way of marketing, but with digital marketing, it's very possible. You can perform anytime. You can customize it and tweak to meet up. Even after the ad is running, you can always stop. If it's not working the way you want, you can always pause it and make changes. Reach is local when it comes to traditional way of marketing, just where the TV station or the media can reach. But for digital marketing, is dynamic, and so you can reach a wider audience. We mentioned this before. It's global because the internet world is connected. It's a global village, as the wise people say. And then result delayed when it comes to traditional way of marketing, but for digital marketing, result is quick and in real time. Run advert now. In the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, you can start checking how people are engaging with it. That doesn't work with traditional way of marketing. Then we have interruptions. Consumers cannot skip ads. If someone is watching a TV or flipping a newspaper and your ad is there, they cannot, and it can be very annoying, by the way. But you see, with digital marketing, actually, consumer can actually click skip. They can actually even use browsers to prevent ad from coming in. So we have 1 minute. So I will just take 2 minutes from this to explain this. So how do you do digital marketing? Now, this is your strategy. The first thing, just like every entrepreneur, you need to ask why. Please understand what your consumers, what your customers need, what your audience needs. Don't just, I see most young Africans going into business because people are making money from it. And I'm not surprised why we always come out of it after 30. When, what is the name of this business? When skincare product came out, every lady was on it. And then all of a sudden, they are vanishing. Check their pages. You will see some people with even 10,000 followers and they are nowhere to be found. The reason is simple. They didn't understand this to why. What are people suffering from in my location or in where, what skin problem are people suffering from that I want to take care of? I saw when web development started, so many people jumped in, and now we have people, they are out. In fact, as at that time, people would tell you, you can get a website for 50,000. Give it now. They are out, they are nowhere to be found because they didn't understand the kind of website businesses are looking for. So the whole idea about you solving a problem in the first place is what is the problem? And as a business, honestly, if you have not identified a problem in your community or anywhere else that you want to solve, my advice, don't start the journey of entrepreneurship. Maybe you should just start a shop, maybe like provision, because there are certain things people will always buy in your local place. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, always identify why. What problem do you want to solve? The next is what, to whom? Who do you want to solve? You must have identified a problem. Now, please take time to understand those who need um, that problem and how you need to solve it. That is the only way you can target them properly. Understand their interests. And then finally, what are the platforms? You can't be selling what is supposed to be advertising on LinkedIn and you take it to Instagram or to Facebook. The audience are different. The audience on Twitter like gossip. And if your business or your content is not gossip related or media related, forget it. You won't do any, you won't sell. They will jump it. If your audience are business people, you are targeting people who have certain stream of incomes, like I said before, then you want to focus on LinkedIn because there are more serious people on LinkedIn. If your audience is like clothes or something that everybody can buy, Instagram or Facebook is very good for you. Facebook. But if you are selling something that people, those who are attracted to visuals, like photos and videos, you want to go for Instagram. Basically, the idea is please understand your audience. First, the problem. Second, the audience. And thirdly, where are your audience? Locate them, the platform. My name is AJ Smart, and as Jessica was already introduced, this is where I will draw the curtain for today. And thanks to eduzam.com for, of course, they provided us with this slide that you see. So I just want to say a shout out and a thank you to them for this wonderful work. So from my end, back to you, Jessica. If there are questions, I will be happy to take them.
Thank you, Mr. AJ Smart, for the wonderful presentation. Before we move to questions, I just want to let us know that there's a survey form at the bottom of the YouTube description. So please ensure you fill out form. It serves as a form of attendance. We mark attendance. So just fill out the form before the live session ends. Over to questions now. I think I'm only seeing one question by Deviel, and the question is, what are the examples of traditional marketing?
Okay, a good example of traditional marketing. Thank you for that question. A good example of traditional marketing would be placing an ad on a TV station or getting a monetized article on a page of a newspaper. All right, a monetized article usually refers to articles um, a journalist wrote in order to promote your business. Usually, this is focused about discussing what your business is about. This will be for those who read it, it will help them introduce you to your kind of business, and they are going to see while they read the newspaper, they will see your what do you call your content, your post or your article, usually written by the journalist or by the reporter, and that is normal traditional content. And the second one would be placing a TV ad or appearing on a TV station to discuss your business. This would be uh, three major good examples of traditional way of marketing or promoting your business.
All right, thank you, Mr. AJ. A question by Unuafe Daniel, and the question is, how beneficiary is digital marketing to agriculture since most farmers and even market women are unable to have computers or social medias?
Good question. I'm a digital farmer. Well, thank God for me. So, but I was I'm privileged to also come from a village that is predominantly farmers. And so I can relate to your situation or your question. So What I advise entrepreneurs like us and yourself to do is we definitely lack platforms that focus on agricultural produce. We lack e-commerce currently, but of course we have a lot of them these days. But what I advise people to do is since we have identified that that is a problem, then that means number one question on this slide I'm showing has already been answered. There is a problem. And now you even answer the second question, which means who. Now we already know, you've already told us that the people who need this are people in the village and they actually don't have access to phones, to gadget computers, so most of them don't have these smartphones. And so the next question would be is what platform? They are not in any platform. So what you will need is provide them with an alternative. So in each market, what if I create an online platform where which will sell agricultural produce, and in my target area, I'm able to employ. This was introduced by Google, where you employ volunteers for your e-commerce, and they will be collecting products, right? In each person who sells, get them listed on your platform. Now they will serve like managers or the intermediate because that's where they will make money from. That's a free business idea for anybody who wants to jump in. You are most welcome to contact me to learn how you can do that. So, but basically, that is a good problem, and because they don't have access to this, it's still beneficial for those who are willing to do it. If you are in that position, the best thing to do is to get an e-commerce and then contact the e-commerce or get someone. Almost every home in, as far as Nigeria, I don't know where he's asking from, but as far as Nigeria is concerned, almost every home these days have someone with a phone, even in the village. And so if you can't do it, get your spouse, your brother, your cousin to do it for you. There are platforms you can do. You just create a social media page and begin to post. I've seen influencers that have never, they started streaming in the comfort of their village and they have thousands of followers. So these days, actually, the best thing you want to do is be natural, be yourself. If you be village man or village woman, be yourself. Forget the packaging. Usually, social media is very tricky. If you can be yourself, then you will attract the right audience for you. So it's very beneficial in such a way that you can start with social media because it's reachable. Get someone with a phone, let them snap your yam or your rice or your corn and post it. If it's in bags you're selling, trust me, just one bag of rice, 25,000. Post it. You'll be surprised that I'll call you and buy because how much do people buy rice in Abuja and how much is rice in Kaduna? The gap is too much. And so most people have to travel to Kaduna to buy. Some have to travel to Abakaliki to buy. But what if they can get someone who posts that online in the village and they can just order for it and you bring it, you bill it to them? That would actually reduce the cost. You see how I mentioned this before that is cost effective. You won't have to spend transport. They will pay for the transport and they won't have to spend much. That's another reason why customers buy online because they don't have to pay double, pay transfer for themselves to come buy that. So I think it's also very beneficial for everybody. Even a common farmer, you don't need a website as a farmer self. If you can't manage it, you can just go to social media, snap or video what you sell with somebody's phone and post it. I've seen people who say, uh, the reason I can't start is because I don't have a phone. I don't have a good phone, an iPhone. I have people who tell me that every day that I can't do this because I don't have an iPhone and I'll just be laughing. I can't have this because I don't have a laptop. I'm laughing. I started learning development with a Samsung S series. It's actually there, and I hope to put it in my personal museum when the time comes. It's there. That's how I started. So the excuses, honestly, are not valid. They are there to rob you of what you are ought to become. I hope that answers your question.
I believe it does. Thank you, Mr. AJ. Before I read out the next question, please, the survey form is below the description. You will see a link over there. So just click the link and fill out the form. The next question is by Aquafilter and it's in the form of a scenario. So it reads, your monthly budget for adverts is $500. During December, because of rush, you need extra fund to increase your product. What do you do? Run an advert or increase your product?
Yeah, good question. So the most interesting thing about digital marketing is that actually you send people what they have paid you for. So in most cases, you don't have to stock the product, okay, unless you where you get your product is very far. But if you have monthly, let's be practical, okay? I'm a business and I'm a practical businessman. If your monthly ad is $500 from the beginning of the year, January, and now you are reaching January of the next year, and you are asking whether you should use the money to buy, then honestly, you're not being honest, because if you spend $500 monthly for art, then I can guarantee you that by the end of the year 2023, your incomes would have tripled, if not up to 4 times. And so you would have more stock, unless if you don't have a business plan like we talked yesterday. That's why it's very, all these factor into each other, because we're discussing business here. So I would expect that beginning from January, you budgeted and you were able to start running $500. And I would expect that by the end of the year, you can comfortably order for 3 times the quantity you usually order for. And actually, you can actually afford to even increase your budget up to $600 or $700 per month if you are really doing your homework well. So what I would suggest you do in this case, if this question is practical, then I would suggest you look at your business plan very well, especially the financial part of it. How has your incomes been? Have you been channeling your incomes to the right place? And have you been using your incomes to grow your business? Because this program is for startups, and I assume that at this point you are looking at how do most of your incomes go back to your business. I don't expect that you use your incomes for other things. So I wouldn't expect that you spend a whole year or even a few months running out, and then after by December you need to increase budget on advert, and it's a problem because you have to compare whether please, let's not be, there are people who make sales and then send the money to their village people, and then next month you make sale again and then send the money to your village people, and then you now start looking for the village people. Will always be there. They are not going anywhere. In fact, they are helping your life getting more interesting. So if you are out for a business, then make sure you separate the money from your interest, the money that goes to people who depends on your dependents, and the money that is supposed to go back to the business. Don't do business and spend the money, squander the money. When we say squander, we spend it and then come back next month and be waiting for new sales. Have a portion of your profit that will always go back to the business, because I don't think this your question is related to the problem with digital marketing. The question is related to poor financial management, both probably personal poor financial management and business financial management. You need to look into that. And I recommend in most cases, like Mrs. Ursula mentioned yesterday, if at any point in time you feel you have issues with your business planning, consult a consultant. We all do. I have different consultant. I have a legal consultant. I have a business consultant. I get insight, research consultant. These are people who provide us with more insight on what the market outlook looks like. So you want to always also get people at your level so you don't break your pocket. So I think that's that from here. I hope I answer your question.
I believe so. Thank you, Mr. AJ. A question from Mohammed Abdullahi from Nursing Home. The question is, how can digital marketing be important in the health sector?
When it comes to health sector, it's very interesting to know that most countries do not allow advertising. When it comes to digital marketing or even traditional way of marketing, is prohibited because some countries want you to focus on service and not the money, because the idea is to serve humanity. However, we all know that just like those who produces antivirus are usually people who make virus, just like people who, you in the health, most of you who produce vaccine, in most cases they are the one who produces the virus for us to buy. So it's human psychology. So then how do you sell? They don't sell directly. So in the health industry, you can't sell directly in most countries. So what you do is engage with your audience. And I will tell you a good example. If I am a practitioner, for example, or a medical doctor, I will just create, I'm giving you a practical example. I will create a YouTube channel, I will create a social media channel, and every twice a week, maybe if I don't have time at all, I will be sharing tips on every latest development or research in the health industry. Okay? And then at the end of the day, I'm going to have a crowd of people who relied on me to give them information. And most of that information is not free because I'm a health consultant. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to be engaging you to book a session for to pay. You have to pay for a session if you have some personal problem. For example, if you are dealing with infertility, if you are dealing with some kind of health reaction, skin reaction, or those kind of things. And the person would have to book an appointment so I can put them through. Of course, it's not for free. The same service I provide for people who buy card and walk into my hospital is the same services I'm going to provide online. And people are already doing this, by the way. But you can, in health, as far as I know, you are not allowed to sell directly. Say, oh, this medicine is for sale. No, you can't. But you can have a good health website that gives people tips on how to be healthy, and then you now have provision where they can book appointment so you can attend to them as a health consultant. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, I think you do. Thank you, Mr. AJ. Just a last disclaimer. I'm seeing a lot of questions on where is the form. So if you check at the bottom of the description, you will see something called link for the session survey. Click on that link, and then that is the form you're supposed to fill. So I think that should be very clear enough. And then if I'm not reading out your question, please don't be offended. It's because it is not relating to today's topic. Today's topic is on digital marketing, and then we'll only be reading out questions relating to today's topic. Any other questions will not be digital marketing to connect with customers.
We missed you for a bit. Can you repeat the question? We lost you.
Okay, the last question is from Naima. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, and the question is it good to use both traditional and digital marketing with customers?
Absolutely. So digital marketing didn't come to eradicate the use of traditional marketing. Just as we connect and engage on social media, at the end of the day, most people would love to still meet you. I've connected with people from other countries, and at some point, I would have to jump on a flight to go say hi, or for us to connect on a meeting, or maybe either a conference or something. So, yes, you would have to use both, but we are only saying that digital marketing is way less expensive for you. So, you may want to invest more in digital marketing. So, in a nutshell, digital marketing complements all the traditional effort. It's not there to stop traditional way of marketing. It's here to complement, to add up to the stream of incomes you already have from your business.
Thank you so much, Mr. AJ, for the wonderful session and the answers you've given us for today. I would also just like to quickly acknowledge our speakers on stage. We have Mrs. Mary Ben, we have Mrs. Osla. I would like them to just mute and give us just a word. Miss Mary Ben, are you there? Okay, I think I'll move over to Miss Osla.
Yeah, hello, thank you. It was a fantastic presentation, and yeah, I'm looking forward to further presentations about digital marketing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Osla. And thank you to all the team behind the success of this training. Thank you to our sponsors, Ubuntu Soft, Nonpro Technologies, and Ashule's Collections. We really appreciate and the whole team behind the success of training. I think I'll get a word of closing from Mr. AJ.
All right, thank you once again. This would be a wrap up for us. The next session, I'm sure we'll be looking at digital marketing channels, and we'll be able to dive deep in details on how this works. So, thank you very much for having me, Jessica, and to all the participants. I want to say congratulations. You have made it this far. This is our second day. We are grateful and happy to have you join in, and we hope this would be the beginning of producing some of the most fantastic future investors on the continent. We wish you all well as you take advantage of this program to scale up your business growth. So enjoy the rest of the day. From me, I will say bye for now.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us today on today's session. We hope to see you all again tomorrow, same time, same place. So have a lovely day. Bye for now.